What is going on, guys? I am the FD Guru, bringing to you guys a Week 5 NFL episode of my DFS podcast. We have an interesting slate this week. There's a lot of lower over-under games, not as many games in the 50s that like we have been seeing in the first 4 weeks of the season, but there are plenty of value plays that we can take advantage of, and hopefully this video with the plays that I give you help you build a nice strong lineup to cash, either whether it's against friends or against anyone on FanDuel. Before I get into today's video, as usual, a quick word from my sponsored sportsbook, BetUS. Sign up today with the link below. First depositors of $50 or more get 125% matched on their site. The sportsbook's awesome. I use it. I can't say enough good things about it. Quick payouts, all the player props you need, all the live betting you need. Get over there if you need to get on a book and get in on some action for Week 5 NFL. So jumping in to Sunday's slate, quarterback, I'm loving Daniel Jones. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of him so far this year through the first 4 weeks. He's been known to be turnover happy, either fumbling or throwing picks, but he's been better as of late. This Cowboys and Giants game has the highest over-under on the slate. For the week, the Chiefs and Bills have the highest over-under, but they're Sunday Night Football, not a part of this main slate. I love Jones in this game. They should be down in this game because the Cowboys are a better team, so I expect them to rely on the passing game, and the Cowboys are not good on defense against the pass. They've given up a bunch of passing yards, a bunch of points, 31st in the league against the pass. Jones should be able to slice and dice this Cowboys defense, and he has the threat to run the ball as well. 2 rushing touchdowns in the first 2 weeks. He's averaging 296 passing yards, coming off of an awesome game against the Saints, 402 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's just a great play. You can put him in cash games. 7,400 again is cheap on him. It's just one of the better, if not the best, quarterback matchups for that price in Week 5. And if you wanted to look at another quarterback, another cheap guy, maybe more of a GPP play, depending on how risky you're feeling, you could put him in cash games. I'm looking at Trey Lance too. We can really save some money. Jimmy Garoppolo is out, so Lance will be starting, and he was really good when he picked up for Garoppolo last week. We had enough of a sample size where we can start to feel a little confident about the rookie. 9 for 18 passing attempts, 157 yards. He even ran the ball 7 times for 40 yards, and he had 2 touchdowns. So he did a lot in his time on the field. Granted, it was against a very bad Seahawks defense, but nonetheless, he's looking comfortable out there. 6,900 is his cheap as it gets for a quarterback. A great GPP play, medium risk, high reward. So definitely a guy you want to have on your radar for that price. For running back, my favorite value running back of the week, and I don't really think it's close right now, it's Leonard Fournette. He has solidified himself as the number 1 running back on the Bucs. Ronald Jones has slowly slipped away in that role. We saw Fournette in primetime last week against the Pats get 20 rushing attempts. He came out in the first quarter and was really, really dominant right away. 92 rushing yards. He even had a few catches. I expect the Bucs to be up in this game. They're 10-point favorites. They're going to rely on the run game a lot. Brady is a guy who, yes, he loves throwing touchdowns, but he also loves sticking to a game plan, and I think that the Bucs game plan in Week 5 is going to be to establish the running game. The Dolphins are 27th worst in the league against the rush. So Fournette at 6,400, a guy who can also catch passes, just an awesome value play. I'm loving Leonard Fournette in Week 5. For wide receiver, let's spend up here. DeVante Adams, he's my favorite wide receiver on the slate. I think he has the best chance to score the most fantasy points out of any wide receiver. The Bengals have been pretty decent on defense, but Adams is pretty unguardable. I don't mind spending up here. He has the highest potential out of any player in week 5, and I think Rodgers is going to really be looking his way as usual if they're going to get a win on the road. They are favorites. The over-under is pretty good. I just love this safe play in cash games. DeVante Adams at 8,200. For tight end's weird again. There's been no great value, cheaper tight ends really so far this year. We have no George Kittle, so maybe people are going to try to punt play Dwelly on the 49ers. I don't love it. I think the 49ers will look more towards their wide receivers. I think Darren Waller is the safe bet here, really the only safe bet at tight end in week 5. 7,400. He obviously draws a ton of targets. 19 in week 1 is unrealistic, but 7 consistently in the next 3 games. Derek Carr obviously loves this guy. He is one of the more athletic, not only tight ends, but one of the more athletic receivers in the league. He defies all tight ends other than Kelsey and Kittle, but in general, Waller, a top tight end. 7,400 is fine. They're at home. The Bears defense hasn't been bad, but hasn't been great. I think Waller will find some openings here and have a good game. For defense, there's a couple of really low over-unders here. We got the Pats and the Texans at 39. We also have the Broncos at the Steelers at 39 over-under. Steelers are favored in this game at home. I think the Broncos are going to have a really hard time establishing any offense. Pittsburgh's a hard field to play in, and I expect the Steelers D to give the Broncos some trouble. They've been decent, positive points in every game. They had a great week 1. I try not to overthink defense because it's kind of lucky if you get like a pick 6 or a punt return or something. I always try to spend down because it's really the players that win you the big bucks. So 4,000 is a nice cheap price on the Steelers, a nice low over-under. I expect them to have a good game. That'll sum up this week's video, guys. I hope these picks help you build a strong lineup and cash in. Like the video. As always, I appreciate you for tuning in. Until next time, I am the FD Guru, and I am signing off. See ya.